Hello, friends and enemies. Welcome back to Weekly Allowance, the universe's only toy review show. There are no others. If you've seen any others, I'm sorry to tell you, but it was a hallucination. Today we are looking at the last of the figures that we got from the new Cosmic Legions wave, OxKrewe Book 2. This is Kogg, some kind of wildebeest man. He is another member of the OxKrewe, so he's got a suit like them with a new unique head, and he's a heavy boy. All the OxKrewe members are heavy boys and girls because of their suits. Excited to take a look at him, so let's start. Window in the front, synopsis of the story on the side, Kogg bio on the other side, and then on the back, a list of all the things that we have gotten in the Cosmic Legions line so far. It's really grown. It's kind of crazy to see. It just feels like not long ago that the first wave came out. Time. It's getting to be a problem. So let's go ahead and open him up. Okay, before I get into the review proper, I wanted to do a PSA. There's these two little screwdriver type thingies. When I was unboxing him, they just kind of fell out. I don't really know where they originated from. Maybe I wasn't really paying good enough attention, but there are a lot of little pegs and doohickeys in this recess here that they might have slipped out of somehow. All right, this guy looks really cool. His design is so interesting that I kind of wish he wasn't in the suit. I mean, I'm not saying I want to see him naked. I would just like to see more of his anatomy, like have him a little less completely covered up in this bulky form obscuring suit, because it looks like there's a lot of interesting anatomy going on here, especially on the feet. He's got this cute little tail that you do have to attach. One thing I will say right off the bat is that I don't like this attachment, this type of tail attachment where it's got this armor type piece with a ball. You plug it into a hole, just because I find that doesn't really want to stay. And typically when Four Horsemen does this, the tail can move independently of this armor piece, but I don't think it does in him. It's not moving for me anyway. So for stuff like this, I'm kind of inclined to just go ahead and glue the tail in, because I'm always going to want the tail in. Anyway, yeah, he's an interesting design. He's kind of like a cross between some kind of monkey and bison or water buffalo or something. But then he's got these interesting bright blue scales up top. But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about, like anatomy-wise. Like, are those scales anywhere else? Would they kind of tie in the face more together if we could see them? And then he's got such a thick neck and a long head. But then if you kind of take away the illusion of the suit making him bigger, he'd actually be pretty scrawny in the body. I know some of this is artistic license. I mean, he's probably meant to be, you know, bulkier than what the absence of the suit would assume, if that makes any sense. But, you know, you have to keep the suit a certain size to keep it within parameters, to keep it within budget. But yeah, I want to see the rest of this guy's body. So they all have these suits. They're all more or less the same design. They're all different colors. No color coordination here. OxKrewe does not believe in that. But yeah, I'm really drawn to his face, just because it's really interesting design. And then by comparison, the suit is just kind of like there, which isn't really a criticism. It's just more of a compliment on the character design of the head. You do get a little bit of a compliment to the eyes with these orange stripes. The eyes are orange. These stripes throughout the suit are orange. So that's cool. You get a little bit of a bright blue like his crest. I always love it when colors are cohesive through the figure. A lot of the suit is just this base plastic, and that's the same for the other OxKrewe figures as well, but I do like these nice touches. We've got some silver rivets, we've got that orange we talked about, and on him, he's got some damage on him, or maybe not damage, but like dirt. He is a mechanic, so he's moving around a lot, he's getting dirty. Got some scrapes here, that's a really cool effect. Oh, but see what I mean about the tail? Yeah, in my experience, these just don't stay in. It does drive me a little bit insane because I always want the tail on. But yeah, we'll just keep that off for now. But yeah, I love the design of the feet. Looks almost like he's got these cloven hooves underneath, with like maybe a vestigial claw or something, and these weird round apparatus in between the toes. Of course, all of the OxKrewe members have these big feet so they can stand up easily. And he, like the other male members of OxKrewe, has this cool belt where you can attach some stuff to it. Unfortunately, Eularia, I have her right here. Let's go ahead and bring her out. Eularia, I was hoping she would come with something like that where you could kind of bulk out her middle with extra stuff like you can do with her husband and this guy and the other dude, but she just comes with this pre-attached belt where you can't really attach anything else to it, which was kind of a bummer because that was something I was looking forward to, but we get that in Kogg, which is nice. But here you can kind of see the elements of the suit. It would be better to have one of the male characters out instead of her because their suit is more like his. Hers, I said this in her review a long time ago, but hers is more streamlined, more feminine, which I'm not really a fan of design-wise because there's no point to it really. Like if you want to signal that she's female, then I get it. If that was the goal, then they did that because her suit is more streamlined. She doesn't have the pauldrons. She has a thinner waist. She's got these thigh guards that kind of round her out down there a little bit. But I mean, practically, if you're trying to survive in space on a hostile planet, you don't really need to look feminine. I don't know. I still like her. I'm not going to complain too much. And this ain't about her. This is about Kogg. Yeah, I just love his face. Yeah, don't confuse minor criticisms or observations for not liking the figure, because I really do. I just kind of call it like I see it, which some people don't like all the time. But yeah, very interesting character design. I gotta say, I love the tail. It might not stay in well, but I love a man with a long tail. So for articulation, his head gets a lot of movement, which is nice. And the way his beard here is shaped, it doesn't really appear to leave any gaps, which is really cool. I don't know if that was an intentional design or just a happy accident. But yeah, you get some back and forth on that head, some tilt. You got these pauldrons that can move out of the way. His pauldrons are on a rotation joint, so they can actually move out of the way, and then you can lift up that arm. Got an elbow joint, some swivel on that, but also on the gauntlet here. So yeah, really nice. So you can get that out of the way and then position the arm the way you want it, and then assemble the pauldron wherever you want that. Very nice bit of engineering. No neck joint. His neck is fixed in here. He's got an upper torso joint. It's pretty hefty and sticky, but it is there. A more easily movable midsection joint. I think that's just a dumbbell joint or a ball joint hidden by this this belt. Up on the leg, side, back. We don't get much movement in the thighs just because there's so much armor there. This leg joint, this knee joint, is very loose. Got some swivel there. You've got a little bit, and then a big chunky joint for the foot. Some rock there as well, and then you get a sneaky little toe joint. Though I would be careful because his belt, these pieces do come off. Easy to lose one of these here pouches. So the suit actually doesn't end there though. You've got this piece, which is heavy. It's heavy on him. I don't recall it being quite as heavy in the other figures. So what you can do is take off this middle piece, this rivet from the center of the chest. You might need a little screwdriver or something because it was very hard to pry out, but I have infamously weak fingernails, so you might be better at it. And then you slip this over his head, plug that centerpiece in. There we go. Very nice. Just kind of bulks out the suit even further. Put this aside somewhere safe. And then that is not even in there. He's got a dome that can go on top if you can orient it the right way. There we go. So yeah. He can go out in space like this. Ah, that looks so cool. They all look really cool with their domes on. It's kind of a shame to cover up that cute face, but it also adds a little bit of mystique, you know? It's kind of hard to see in there. You don't really know what you're looking at. Then you have this backpack piece that can plug in here. Ooh, and that is nice. So, one complaint that I had, and I think other people had about the previous suited characters, is that this backpack piece falls out so easily. Like I was grabbing Orvar to compare to him later, and the backpack piece just fell off as soon as I picked him up, but this is very sturdy. I don't think it's going anywhere. So that is a nice change. But yeah, let's take this dome off so we can look at his beautiful face. He'll come with these little pouches that are open, and you can plug these into his, well, if you try to plug them in here, the thighs kind of get in the way, so you might you might want to replace these little pouches. See, that's what's cool about the belt, is like it's modular. You can just do whatever you want. Still doesn't really want to go on. It's just kind of running into other pieces that are sticking out. You might need to put them back here, actually. Just moving lots of stuff around. Anyway, though it is frustrating that the pieces fall off and that sometimes they don't stick too well. It is modular, and so you can move stuff around. That's kind of what I was missing with Eularia. I was hoping she would have something like that because it's a cool feature. And I just like the design element of it. So maybe this can go right here. Yeah, it's difficult because this is a rubbery material and this is a rubbery material, and they don't like to interact. I don't see that staying. Skill issue? Maybe. But you have the option. I'm also at a weird angle. I can't really get up on it while I'm filming, so I'm sure if I could, you know, be right up on it, I could attach it better. But that's for later. It'll come with 2 trigger finger hands because you gotta defend yourself. And also, one thing that's a little bit disturbing but also very cool is the centerpiece of his forehead can come out. And that's because he comes with these goggles you can replace them with. He'll come with 2 different types, basically the same, except one is slightly see-through, I think. Another one's completely blacked out. So for this one, you could, in theory, kind of see his eyes, but not really. I don't think they're transparent enough for that. At least not with all these lights blaring down on him. But then you've got this one. It's just all black. I love him. I love him with the goggles on. That's so cute. You know, he's a mechanic, he's welding, he needs to protect those beautiful eyes. He looks like a nerd, and I say that in the most loving way possible. Speaking as someone who is also a nerd and has had glasses since childhood. But that's not it. He comes with these clippers. I kind of wish they really worked, but that's more of like a Mezco thing. Mezco is the company that makes the accessories that are actually mechanically useful. This doesn't do anything, but it does look real cool. He'll come with a screwdriver, a rivet machine, I don't know, something that could also maybe be used as a weapon, a nail gun or something. You know, you gotta use what you can. And then finally, this very small assortment of items. Like I illustrated before, there's these 2 like screwdriver type things. They're very small. So I'm reckoning that this stuff can go into these pouches. He's got this little thing, whatever that is, can go right there. He's also got these pegs. So what these are things that can plug in like on the gauntlets or like on the hole here or wherever there's an opening, and then you can attach things like that. Not a good example, but you know, I'm just kind of trying to show you what it can do. Though that would be a useful storage mechanism. So yeah, you get a few of these little clear thingies. Got some more tiny tools to go in those pouches. It's funny because, I mean, I guess he can hold them, but they're so tiny in his little hand. So I would definitely watch out for these because they are very small, very losable. And this, I don't know what this is, actually. I really don't know. It doesn't say in the product listing, and there's no photos of it as far as I can tell. So not really sure. If I find out what it is, I will film an addendum, and it will go right here. Editing Madison here. Sorry for the bad audio. I'm just in my office. So you can plug that thing into the side of his suit backpack thingy, and then you can hang stuff from it, most notably these bolt cutters here. So I don't know if that's technically what this was made for, but that's what we're using it for. So there you go. If there was nothing there, I didn't figure out what it was. So that is Kogg. He's a really cool little guy. Actually not so little. He's pretty big, very heavy. So let's do some comparisons and see how he stacks up to other characters. Here we have the Thraxian Hunter. This would be Kogg's enemy, but they look like they could be friends. Thraxian Hunter is from the same wave. We reviewed him last time. Here is Eularia again. And now let's move Thraxian Hunter and bring in Orvar, who I went and grabbed just so I could compare the male armor. So yeah, you can see he's got the same kind of pauldrons, the same kind of belt with removable items. Kogg's torso is a little bit longer, actually a lot longer. He's got more of his like undersuit showing, like Eularia, whereas Orvar is just like pretty stocky torso actually. So yeah, I can't deny they all look good together. I kind of wish he had a more colorful armor because the rest of them are pretty colorful. These two especially, and then the other guy is kind of like a burnt orange armor, but his is mostly gray. So it would have been cool to make him another vibrant rainbow color. But yeah, it's really nice seeing them all together. So let's see who else we have. How about a Beast? Beast is the same kind of thing. I mean, he is a furry man. He does machinery stuff, I assume. I mean, what is Beast? Is he a biologist or? He's some kind of like science guy, but I don't really know what his major was. He works on stuff. But then if you want a more standard human scale figure, you've got Cassian Andor from Black Series. Like I always say with these Cosmic Legions, they can fit into pretty much anything because they're pretty much all aliens. They are all aliens. And Cassian's an alien too. You get all shapes and sizes, rounding it out with Wasteland Neil. Wasteland Neil always shows up when there's a sci-fi figure to review. Yeah, I just can't get over how good he looks with the rest of the OxKrewe. Just like, you know, for as much as I would like to see the rest of their anatomy, especially this guy, because I think the other three are pretty much mostly human. I mean, he's got a humanoid body plan, but I think there's more interesting stuff going on underneath. As much as I would like to see that, they do look very nice, cohesive all together in their matching suits. And that's gonna do it for OxKrewe Book 2. As I've said before, we did not order the entire wave. We were a little bit more discerning this time. We only got 4. We got him, the Thraxian Hunter, Bungie, of course, and Akcha. Happy with our choices. So thank you so much for watching. I mentioned this last time, but I'll mention it again. I have a Patreon. It's not for toy stuff. It's an art Patreon. So if you're interested in seeing some of my art, if you're interested in getting custom sketches, if you're interested in getting a print and a sticker from me each month, you're more than welcome to check that out. You know, a lot like the figures that I tend to collect, it's a whole bunch of different kind of stuff, different styles, different mediums. I can't settle on just one thing because I'm a freak like that. ADHD in full force. And with that being said, it's time to end this review. Thank you so much for watching. Likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. And I'll see you guys on the next one.